What's going on, everybody? You're watching Thisvthattv and you're watching my review of Shinsekai Yori, or From the New World. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure what it was that got me interested in watching From the New World. Maybe it was the artwork or the interesting plot synopsis. Maybe it was the high praise it had received from different sites or the positive fan reviews. I don't know, but I guess it really doesn't matter, because for some reason I did end up watching the series. The question is, did it live up to all the praise surrounding it, or was it just another overhyped series? The story takes place in Japan 1,000 years from now, in a world where humanity has discovered and developed supernatural telekinetic abilities. People have used this ability to form a utopian society where all humans live together in harmony, but all is not as it seems. There are rumors about mysterious cats that abduct children, and even though several children start disappearing, no one seems to notice or care all that much about it. Something is definitely not right in the village of Kamisu 66. What's really going on in this supposed utopia? That is the question that starts the long and incredible journey of our main characters. The story is told from the perspective of 5 characters. All of the characters attend the same school and are a part of the same class group, Group 1. As well as being told primarily from her point of view, the main character, Saki, also doubles as the narrator for this series. The story takes place over several years and information is slowly revealed to you each episode. From the New World uses a lot of flashbacks to provide background information on the characters and the world itself. This makes the amount of time that the story covers even larger and will keep you engaged in the story. The show is constantly progressing and is purposely vague, and you'll have to continue to watch the series in order to fully understand what's going on. The story is continually building upon itself by using great writing and foreshadowing to build tension and suspense. From the New World also does a great job of building the world that the characters are living in. While initially and purposely vague, you will come to understand why the world is like it is. The story provides a detailed history of how the world became the way it is and what it was like before. This provides essential context to the events that are currently occurring, and it was all explained really well. Even though there are several flashbacks and time skips, the story never felt rushed. Everything was built up and explained really well. There are also other things that will be mentioned or subtly alluded to, and you'll have to be paying attention in order to understand what's being referenced and shown to you. There's a lot more to the story, but it would be really hard to talk about it without spoiling it, and that's the last thing that I want to do. The story is really well done, and it concludes with a fantastic ending that wraps almost everything up. And the thing that's left open is where the ending really shines. The world is messed up, and they know that it's messed up, but the beauty of the ending is the hope for a better future. I had no major issues with the story, but there was one small thing that I wish was explained a little bit better. That thing is the psychic powers of the humans in the series. Not their origin or exactly what causes it, because it's even said in the series that the characters in the series don't really know exactly where their powers come from, but the limit to those abilities. While there are definitely people in the series who are better using their powers than others, I never really got a sense of what they could or couldn't do with their abilities, other than the parameters that were explained at the beginning of the series. I just wonder if there really wasn't a way for them to deal with some of the problems that they ran into, but that is a very minor issue. From the New World has a unique animation style, and it's pretty fantastic. The characters are all animated really well and have distinct features that separate them from one another. The series places these unique character models on top of great looking background scenery, which is varied and pleasing to look at. And at times the background scenery looks fantastic all by itself. The backgrounds usually have an almost painted look to them, which helps to create some beautiful scenes. From the New World also uses different types of animation throughout the series. During some flashbacks and fight scenes, you'll see a totally different style of animation. Sometimes the entire scene uses this style, but in others it's mixed in with the original style. It's done in a way that doesn't make it feel out of place, but in a way that actually blends in perfectly with the other style of animation that is used. As mentioned earlier, the series does have some fight scenes, and they're all animated really well. It does a good job at showing the audience how a lot of the invisible actions of the characters' psychic abilities affect the people that they are fighting and the objects that they are using. Other than a couple of times where it looked like the characters lacked a little detail, the animation was great throughout the series. If you couldn't already tell, From the New World is a pretty dark series, and for the most part, the soundtrack reflects that. The OST is large and showcases several different tracks that can fit the tone of any scene that the series tries to portray. But while the series does tend to lean a lot more towards the dark side, there are lighthearted and heartfelt moments in the series. There are plenty of slow, sad songs and up-tempo, upbeat songs to fit those moments as well. The OST also features several different ways of presenting the music. While there are plenty of dark and thrilling tracks, they present them to the audience in different ways. The OST uses several different genres of music, from rock to hip-hop and even a little bit of trance. This adds even more variety to the music that the series uses. While From the New World doesn't have an opening, other than the second ending that they use as an opening for episode 16, the OST is complemented by two great endings. The second ending is particularly good because it is debuted during a critical character moment in the series, and every time you hear it, it'll make you think back to those events. From the New World stars 5 main characters: Maria Akazuki, Shun Aonuma, Satoru Asahina, Mamoru Ito, and Saki Watanabe. All the characters in this series have their own distinct personalities and ways of doing things. They're a fun group to watch because of the interactions between all of the characters. Some people might say that the series doesn't have a lot of character development, and in a way, they're right. None of the characters in this series change very much in terms of their individual personalities, but you can definitely see the characters change significantly in other ways. As I just mentioned, the characters in From the New World don't change who they are at their core, and I think that's something that makes the characters different from a lot of other characters in other series. The story takes place over several years, and we get to see how the characters change during that time period. While who they are as characters doesn't change, their view of the world that they live in and the relationships they have with one another do. There are several great side characters in this series. Even though they weren't given the most detailed backstory or even developed to a great degree, they were excellent characters that each added something meaningful into the story. Without spoiling exactly who it is, I also have to mention the amazing antagonist. The character was fantastic and will get you thinking about the character's motivations and if they were in fact justified. The characters are all likable and enjoyable to watch. I really enjoyed watching From the New World. This is probably the only anime that I've rewatched and that I can say I enjoyed watching just as much as when I watched it the first time, if not more. This series was great on all fronts, and it's a shame that it hasn't gotten the publicity that it deserves. This isn't a series that you can just watch the first couple of episodes of and get an understanding of what's going to happen next or even what's going on. Information is given to you throughout the entire series, and even when you think you know what's going on, there will be another twist that will yank you right back into the story. It was the verdict and breakdown out of 5. Story 4.8, animation 4.4, sound 4.6, characters 4.4, enjoyment 4.6, for a final verdict of 4.6 out of 5. From the New World is a brilliant story that will keep you thoroughly entertained as well as make you think. There are some philosophical questions that this series proposes that are definitely interesting and tough to answer. But that's part of the reason that the series is so good and why I highly recommend this series. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video, and please like the video if you really enjoyed it. And if you've seen From the New World, please let me know what you guys thought of it in the comment section down below. You click the annotation on the screen right now and it'll take you to my previous video. And once again, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.